What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Jay Wayne, representing music for the soul, and this is my studio confessions. How I became a music engineer. The day I knew I wanted to be a part of the music industry was the day I heard Bone Thugs and Harmony. It was like 1990 something. I was in the back seat. I was 8 years old, and it came on. It said, "It's the first of the month. Get up, get up, get up, catch your checks and come on." That was the first day I knew it. That was the day I knew. I was like, man, I want to be a rapper. I want to do that. That is what I love, And so every year, since then I was rapping. I was writing raps, trying to freestyle. As the years went on, and I was in middle school, then high school, I was always rapping in the classroom, in the neighborhood, having freestyle battles. I think it was when I was in the 12th grade when I really thought I was ready to put out something. Put out a little CD, just put out something to give to people at my school. And so when I was in the 12th grade, it was half of the day you would go to school, and the other half you would go to a career technical center. And I chose to do graphic design. By the way, I knew I wanted to do graphic design when I was about 7 years old, when my cousin came home with this crazy looking picture. It was just so creative. It blew my mind, and I couldn't comprehend at that age how he did it. And he was like, "It's graphic design." I said, "That's what I want to do." So I knew I was going to do these things way back when I was a little kid. So I would go to this technical center for the rest of the day of school. And they'd teach me graphic design, Photoshop, Illustrator, web design, all kind of stuff, right? And while they was teaching web design and doing all this other stuff, I was still stuck on my CD cover, grinding, man, any means necessary. I was grinding, so I was still stuck on my CD cover, designing that boy, not even learning all of the other stuff she was teaching. I just know by the end of the semester, I had to have this CD cover done. And so I eventually got it done. It was corny as heck. It was, back then I thought it was hot, but I look at it now, I just get embarrassed. But that's my, that's my beginnings. If y'all want, leave a comment. I'll show y'all what the CD cover looked like and all that kind of stuff. Leave a comment below if you want to see that. So I eventually got the CD cover done. And I used their printer. They had laser color printer, and I think I printed about 500 copies. And they finally caught me, and it was like, "You can't be printing all these copies," this kind of stuff. Like, I was like, all right, I ain't know. And I think I snuck in about a couple hundred more copies, and then I called it a quit. And then I assembled it all late at night. Came to school the next day, 600 copies in my backpack, and was just selling them boys for $5. Couple dollars, whatever I can get. And that was that, man. That was my first time putting together a CD. And I was basically learning, as I went on. I was using a lot of YouTube. I was reading a lot of books. I was taking advantage of all my resources, and I made it happen. I was dedicated. Every year I kept growing. That's what I noticed. Every year I kept learning. I had a little job, and little money coming in, and I would use that money to invest in better equipment. And then once I got that and I mastered that, and I knew that I needed another piece to it, so I would get money the next year, and then I would invest in whatever I needed, and it just kept growing. And now I think my studio is up to about $7,000 now with everything together. So how I got into engineering was like mixing and recording and like mastering my own stuff. I wasn't mastering at the time. I was just recording and kind of mixing it on a basic level. I was searching around like nearby studios, and then I called them up. I actually got a tour to the studio, checked it out, all that stuff. Nice, beautiful equipment, right? And then I said, "Well, how much is it an hour or whatever? How much do you charge?" And he said $60 an hour. I was like, whew. I'm in high school. I think I was working at Kentucky Fried Chicken. It was no way I can afford $60 an hour, especially being new. I didn't even know how to record at that time. I just knew I wanted to, and that's what I had to do. So I was like, okay, cool. Shook hands and all that kind of stuff. Went back home and was like, Ain't no way I'm paying $60 an hour. It gotta be another way, and I'm about to make it happen. So I stumbled on programs like Magix, back in the day, Magix, if you know what I'm talking about. And then I think I stuck with EJ. EJ is a little program for beginners, and they have beats, like beat sounds, and you gotta compile them up. It basically teach you how to put sounds together, how to layer some stuff, and then basically you can record on there. I had a little computer mic, and it would sit on my desk, and I'd just be sitting there rapping. And I think I did that for like 2 CDs, and then I invested in another microphone. So yeah, man, that's how I started. You know, it was a long time coming. It was like when I first started actually recording and mixing and, you know, learning how I go. I think it was like 2004 or 2005, and that's when I started, and that's how I became a music engineer, and I love it to this day. And I think I'll be doing this to the day I die. So that's my story. Leave some comments below. Tell me how you started. Tell me what motivated you. What was that first encounter that you had that just was like, just blew your mind away, and you knew that you had to be a artist or do something in the music industry, making beats, whatever. You know, let me know. I'm curious to know your stories, man. I love it. I love chatting with y'all. I love kicking it with y'all. So don't forget to like this video, comment, and subscribe. And let's make this music, baby.
I put my all in it. I put my all in it. I'm going all in. I put my all in it. Hey, it's all or nothing. Oh yeah, it's all or nothing.